My discography is a hit list. The hottest girl is on my hit list. The hottest parties, I'm on the guest list. Roll up a gram like an exam, glitz and glam. My discography is a hit list. The hottest girl is on my hit list. The hottest parties, I'm on the guest list. Roll up a gram like an exam, glitz and glam. Numbers going up, I need a plaque. I need diamond girls to floss like I got too much black. All I do is chill at the crib and kill a track. You're probably on the menu if you say you rap. My discography is a hit list. The hottest girl is on my hit list. The hottest parties, I'm on the guest list. Roll up a gram like an exam.
Oh, I like the remix. Michael with the remix. I like it.
Yeah.
Old Fuzzy wanted on camera right there. What do you got?
So I was thinking about opening this today. This is from 1995. This
Oh.
Coca-Cola Jeff Gordon bottle.
That is crazy. So we were talking backstage. The old lady moved in with me, and I had dude decorations around the house, So
Heck yeah.
I have somebody bought me a 6-pack of little tiny bottles of Coca-Cola. It was from something Ohio State from the 90s.
Oh,
And I thought to myself, I wonder if you could open this and drink it. Yours is from when?
1995.
I'd wonder if that's tainted. I don't know.
Oh. Well, see,
Do we want to?
Jeff? You know about Jeff Gordon? Like his entire career was with Pepsi. This is like the first 2 or 3 years of his career.
Oh, wow. Do you want to try an experiment on the? Well, you got to work tonight.
No,
so maybe
no, I'm not gonna. I'm not willing to die tonight. No, sir.
You're not gonna die. You probably get explosive diarrhea or throw up,
Oh yeah. I'm good.
which would be awesome on the show. Actually, maybe we'll go viral or a
Ah,
virus.
No, I thought shaving cream pie to the face would do that. It didn't do it either. So
This is what just happened every Thursday. Falcon bailed on me 45 minutes before the show. Listen, before we get into it, I have a pet peeve, and specifically for parents, because I'm a parent, but my child's grown. But these modern day parents think they're the busiest people on the planet. Listen, I have a very hectic professional corporate career. I run 12-ounce sports. My co-host, God bless him, I've known him for 49 years now, texted me when I texted Mike and the Falcon. I said, "Hey, I'll send the invite soon. I'm getting the studio ready." And he said, "I'm not on tonight. I sent you my son's hockey schedule like 2 months ago." Dude, it's your kid. It's not my kid. I don't check his schedule. I probably looked at it that night when you texted it to me, and that's the last time I looked at your son's schedule. It's not my kid. You have to tell me, I said, week to week if you're going to be on the show. He's like, "Oh, my bad. I have too many irons in the fire." What just happened?
what does that even mean?
He's acting like he's so super busy. So a little bit behind the scenes, when he acts like he's this busy that he forgot to tell me he's not going to be on the show this week, he sent me this week alone. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Facebook Messenger like funny videos since Monday. 8.
And not one time could he remember
Not a single time did he think to say, by the way, I'm not on the show this week. But tonight, because he was embarrassed because he canceled on me 45 minutes before the show, he said, I have too many irons in the fire. I can't remember to tell you what I'm going to be. You've sent me 8 joke videos this week.
You can't make it up, man. Where's the laugh track? Oh, that works.
Oh, no, he doesn't get the laugh track tonight. So we're Sans Falcon. We may have a special guest coming in, but Mike and I have proven before we can hold down the fort. We have good topics. But, Michael, it's almost Christmas. We have the Santa hat up. I mean, if you don't celebrate Christmas, something else, happy holidays. I got the wreath.
Sure.
The wreath is all holidays. It's not but
happy winter.
Nothing goes with winter and holidays and Christmas quite like the taste of cinnamon. And this is going to go down really smooth because the old lady and I just made a honey baked ham tonight, which comes with brown sugar melted on top. So I'm going to have myself a cinnamon whiskey, and then we're going to get into the first topic, which is Mike's topic. Hold on.
Good night. Good night, Gamble Guy.
Oh, no, that's like candy. Tastes like candy.
Well, that's awesome.
Before we get into it, we do have big news coming on 12 Ounce Sports. I can't release it yet until it's official, but we will be on. I want to say something, but I'm not going to say specifically. But just don't be surprised if you find out that 12 Ounce Sports is on every smart TV on the planet. So inside the planet, in the magma,
inside the core. Oh,
so
real quick side story, just real quick. I have to do this.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I am 28 years old. I love sci-fi movies, but it's been 10 years since the movie Interstellar was released. I have never seen it. And last night at the world's tallest IMAX, right here in Pooler, Georgia, I saw that movie for the first time, and wow, what an experience! I've heard about it before. I knew its lore has grown since it was first released. The entire theater was packed out, and it was the last day they were showing it this week. It was like a huge, 100-person theater was packed out still. It was the last day they were showing it. Absolutely incredible film.
You said world's tallest IMAX?
Is in Royal Cinemas in Pooler, Georgia.
And it's let's see how tall that is. Pooler, Georgia. Yep, there you go. Does the screen encompass all 76 feet? Or wait, it's 100.
It was.
So it says the screen's 101 feet wide, 76 feet 2 inches tall. That's enormous, and it takes up the whole screen.
Oh yeah, the entire front of for sure.
Does it hurt your neck at the end of the day?
No, it's like you. I felt like I was in space. Like that was a great thing. That was a great movie.
Awesome. So, folks, before we get into it, I said we're going to have big news coming up. We're going to be on every smart TV. We're going to get more channels, not just 12 Ounce Sports. It's going to be exciting. We're the new age media. We do kind of off sports. We have all kinds of big news. I don't want to make this like an infomercial, but we're partnering with the lacrosse league, which should interest the fella on screen with me. So I'm very excited about it. But if you like what we're doing, if you want to, be a participant, we are a ticket broker. I wanted to pull this up real quick because I just looked at the recent ticket sales. I think we had a Penn State wrestling match. Tickets were bought on something in Iowa, the Barnstormers. Does that sound familiar? Maybe hockey.
Wow.
Promo codes 12OZ or ROME will get you an additional 5% off. I know the person that bought the Penn State wrestling tickets. They said we were $35 cheaper than Vivid. I'm telling you, we can beat people. And in my bookie, gambling has gone berserk. We do have a sponsor, MyBookie12OZ Sports is our promo code. You get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. Now, I did read an article, Michael, that gambling addiction is at an all-time high. So I want you to use my bookie, but bet responsibly. We don't want you to get in trouble. Don't bet the house.
Bet $5 at a time. Not 50. You know what I'm saying?
That could have been a topic for what just happened. Why can't people just bet $5?
Well, but that's a great question. That is a great. You know how much richer people would feel if they didn't have, I lost $50 on gambling. Well, you could have had $50 to buy groceries a little bit, you know?
Well, everybody wants to win the lottery, Michael. I remember one of the most profound things I ever heard at your age. I was a little bit younger than you, but I had a sales job, and we hired this consultant. And his first words, he had not met any of the sales staff. His first words are, "If your dream is to win the lottery, you probably need to reorganize your life." So,
or your dreams. Oh, yeah, you're right.
yeah. Because it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So you gamblers out there, use my bookie, have fun, but be responsible. All right, I got to get into the topics before it turns into we waste too much time. WNBA billions. I'm going to let Mike take the reins on this. This is his topic, but I am very interested in it because the WNBA has made a lot of headwinds lately. A lot of things going on. Caitlin Clark brought the viewership up, but then Mike, you can tell me. I think she pissed a lot of people off with her comments, and I think it was time or something like that about the privilege. But you had another story. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this actually piggybacks off of that one, which is very interesting. Last week on the show, I think, it was actually on last week too. Last week on the show, we talked about the tail end of it, if you can survive that long, that the Time magazine named Caitlin Clark Athlete of the Year, deservedly so for all she did for the WNBA, you probably heard a million times by now. There were some people, the white people who don't watch the WNBA, used it for their political advantage, and everybody with an American flag in their name was going crazy. Okay, so that kind of settled after like 24 hours. Then, billionaire owner of not just the Washington Mystics, but I believe she's like part owner of like the Wizards and the. Oh,
I'm trying to fix the screen. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Michael. Go ahead. You're good.
Part owner of like the Wizards and like the. I think she's part like with the Capitals. I think her name is like Kathy something. But anyway, she's a black owner, like I said, billionaire, and she goes on, I believe it was CNN, and says, the WNBA should be recognized as a whole because it was built on the backs of black players. And then she says like something along the lines of what Skip Bayless called a racist tirade. She said, why can't we just put the whole league on there? Well, I'm going to ask your thoughts on that, and then I want to go crazy for a minute. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, can the entire league fit on a cover of a magazine? That's my first question.
What is the title of that magazine? Like Times what of the year?
Person of the year. Athlete of the year.
How is... Dude, these people are insane. These people are absolutely insane. You cannot make it up.
Yeah, it's like, well, we can focus on one player if it fits the mold of what we want that player to fit. But if it goes against the grain or against our message, now we should have put the whole league on this cover. Like, we can get political if you want, but this is turning into reverse racism. Like, they're mad Caitlin Clark's white, and okay, maybe the WNBA was built on black players. That might be a legit statement, but
sure,
it's the Player of the Year award. So the Player of the Year, I'm going to quote George Carter, just happens to be white. Yeah. So now everybody's like, well, we can't just put one player on the cover. Why? It's the Player of the Year.
Yeah, like they could have chosen Lamar Jackson. They've done like when LeBron was Athlete of the Year, nobody in the NBA complained, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, well, we don't want to, create more divide. What do you mean create divide? By ignoring the white player just because she's white? I don't understand that. I cannot wrap my head. Oh, wow, that's an alarm to wake up. I cannot wrap my head around.
Well, you're awake. They're creating the divide, and then they say, well, we can't just show Caitlin. That'll make the divide worse. Well, you created the divide. Nobody's talking.
The best part is, and naturally this turns into political conversation. Everyone knows, like, who knows me knows I'm not left, right, center. I don't care about politics, period. So, but the notion of being a human being who just enjoys sports, I don't care if she was like pink or the color like purple. She's a really entertaining player. Why does that matter? I cannot wrap my head around that.
Well, she's the player of the year, and we can't even focus on that. Like they're so inside their own assholes that they can't even. They're gonna screw the league up. Like seriously, you had a player, a once in a lifetime player that blew up viewership, blew up ticket sales. And because she's not within the mold that you wanted every single WNBA player to be, like now you're
she's not even a lesbian, which makes it even more of a political argument. She's not even a lesbian.
Yeah, they're losing their minds over it. They're going to ruin their own league. They're going to it should just be the player of the league. She just happens to be white. She just happens to be straight. Who cares? I don't think the general fan is even talking about it. They're the only ones talking about it.
It's like even the white people, you can tell who cares about that part of it because like they're the ones with like the stupid political comments every other tweet they post. So it's like the people that actually like sports actually don't give a crap. They
no.
And like for them, but the thing is when they publicize those kind of comments, it's like people do start to think about it, and the divide is ironically created by the idiots themselves. Another thing I want to mention. Community Notes on Twitter had a time with this lady. Apparently, like 30 or 40% of the Washington Mystics viewership came from the 2 games Caitlin Clark played in their building. That's insane.
And not only, that happened too, but there were at least 2 or 3 games last season where they had to move the games to a bigger venue.
And they had to do it both times for her in this owner's building. So the people in the comments were like, well, here's an idea. Just next time she comes to your building, don't switch buildings if you don't, because obviously you want the money, you know?
They want to make the money off of her, but they don't want her spotlighted because, again, she doesn't fit the mold of what they want people to think the WNBA is. And then she folded, but I can't. Can I blame her?
No.
What's her alternative? There's no alternative women's league.
Yeah, speak out against them. Yeah, that'll work well.
Yeah, that goes really good. So you can't go against the mob unless you have support outside the mob. So, I mean, I think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. So, what's the billions part?
She's a billionaire. I mean, she carries so much weight with her comments. I don't think she understands what she's doing. Well, she probably does, but you have to understand your name holds weight because you are an elite person in this country. Those are serious things to say on national television. You just don't say those things.
No.
For the athlete, for the whole league. Oh yeah, sure. Time is like, you know what? We should change our magazine this year to appease this racist person. I don't get it, man. I'm sorry.
Well, you can screw up your league and hemorrhage money when the NBA is funding you and make stay afloat. So, I mean, that's kind of what's going on there. If my signal's bad, I apologize. You should be able to, wear the hat, please. I screwed up the view, and I can't get back to the view we were at, so it's okay. Where are my dogs at, Michael? Where are my dogs at? Michael Vick, named Norfolk State University football coach. The first thing that came to mind is not the dog scandal, but the first thing that came to mind is, are they just trying to parlay off of what Neon Deion Sanders did, where he went to Jacksonville, or was it Jacksonville State?
Yeah,
I think, and then now Colorado. But I dove a little bit deeper into this, and it turns out there's a lot of current head coaches that are really good, that were really good football players. Maybe not the star status of Deion Sanders or Michael Vick, but I mean, maybe they're onto something. When I first saw this, I'm thinking, did they just hire him as head coach because of his name? Like, he's never coached before. Like,
wait, you mean that happens to those guys too? What?
Yeah, but I'm going to name some coaches in Division I that were really good football players in college. But the difference between them and Michael Vick is the guys I'm going to name actually had to start out at the bottom. Quarterbacks coach, safety coach, video coordinator, coordinator. I feel like this hire was simply because of who he is.
Yeah.
And you can chime in on X or YouTube if you're watching. But I'm going to name some coaches. PJ Fleck of Minnesota, really good at Northern Illinois. Jeff Brom, I know that because, he coached at Purdue. And he played at Louisville. Now he's coaching at Louisville. Really good football player in college. Frank Solich, not a lot of people may not. He's retired now, but he was really good at Nebraska, coach for Ohio. I don't know that guy. Luke Fickell, Ohio State, played at Ohio State.
Yeah.
He's at Wisconsin now. Kirby Smart. I didn't know Kirby Smart was a 4-year letter winner at Georgia.
Oh, wow.
And he's the Georgia coach. Yeah, and you're a Georgia fan. You didn't know that, did you?
I knew he played, but I didn't know he was did all that.
Kevin Sumlin, former, I think is he the current coach at Arizona? Maybe he played at Purdue.
Interesting.
Jonathan
A&M recently. I was just wondering.
He was at A&M recently. Yeah,
Okay.
Jonathan Smith, former Oregon State coach, Michigan State coach now. He played at Oregon State. Jimbo Fisher played at Samford. I don't know that guy.
So basically, everyone who's not Michael Vick had to work their way up.
Yes, Kyle Whittingham, Utah. He was really good at BYU. Lovie Smith was a really good player at Tulsa. So there's a lot of names. Josh Heupel, really good football player at Oklahoma. He coaches
Now he's a fat guy at Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah. Scott Frost, he was a really good quarterback at Nebraska.
Wow.
Herm Edwards, well, everybody knows that. Mike Gundy was a really good quarterback at Oklahoma State, 4-year starter for Oklahoma State, believe it or not. I'm a man. Jim Harbaugh is one of the more famous ones. And then Pat Fitzgerald was a really good linebacker at Northwestern. And then, of course, Deion Sanders, primetime, prolific player.
Right.
I still am mesmerized by the fact that Deion played in an NFL game and a World Series game in the same day.
I didn't know about the World Series. I know he played baseball. Wow.
But is Mike Vick a hire that Norfolk State just said, we want to be on the map? We want people to talk about us. He's got zero coaching experience.
Well, I'm just very glad they're not the Bulldogs and they are the Spartans. I know that we had to do that. That's just...
I didn't have my soundbite ready.
Yeah, you're good. No, but it does seem like, and I don't really blame them for it, which is actually funny because you're never going to go anywhere in your history. Why not just hire a Michael Vick and put yourself on the map and get money? It's low key brilliant, but it's also could backfire very badly if he sucks.
It could backfire very badly. But what does Norfolk State have to lose, really? Right?
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but I think they're an HBCU.
Yeah, so they're not D1. They're not fighting for a playoff spot. Well, I wanted to do one more part about this. So there was an article last year, almost to the day. It says Deion Sanders is the latest all-time greatest player turned coach. I'm going to name some people and see if you remember them being coaches. You don't remember Ted Williams being a coach.
No.
Way before your time. Magic Johnson. Do you remember he was a coach?
Mm-mm.
You don't remember Magic Johnson coached for a minute? He coached the Lakers 93, 94.
I was born in 96. I'm good.
So, yeah, you weren't even a baby yet. Look up when we go off air, Magic Johnson. He came out to center court to argue with a ref and got ejected. It was pretty wild. I watched that in real time. Joe Torre was a really good baseball player. Mike Ditka was a really good NFL player.
Yeah.
This is the one that surprised me. Bill Russell. I didn't know Bill Russell coached.
Wasn't he one of the ones that played and coached at the same time, I think, or something like that?
He might have. During his last 3 seasons as a player, he also served as coach of the Boston Celtics.
Insane,
nice call, Michael. Nice call. I didn't even know that.
That's the 60s NBA for you.
He won 2 titles as a player coach. But apparently he went 179 and 207 with the Supersonics, not even a team anymore, and the Sacramento Kings over 5 years. Larry Bird. I almost forgot Larry Bird coached. I'm so glad I looked up this list because I forgot Larry Bird was a coach for a minute. Not a very good.
Yeah.
Well, he did lead the Pacers to a 147-67 record. So that wasn't bad. And he made the finals against the Lakers and lost 4 games to 2. Wayne Gretzky was a coach.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky coach. Jason Kidd, I think we all know that.
He's with the Mavericks right now, yeah.
Yeah. Mike Singletary was a coach.
I remember him.
This is the one that really blew my mind. I thought I knew everything, all things sports. Bart Starr was a football coach. I did not know that. I had no idea.
Is the Cowboys.
That was a fun research project I did right before the show tonight. So there you go.
Where my dogs at, Mike Vick?
Where are my dogs at? We're about halfway through. We'll get through this. How old are you?
Me?
That's not a question. That's not a question for you. Let's look at
this is
Trevor.
crazy.
Let's look at Trevor Lawrence and Cam Rising. They graduated the same year. Rising went to Texas. Lawrence went to Clemson. Lawrence left Clemson after 2020, went to the Jags. He's been playing in the NFL for 4 years. Cam Rising still at Utah. How old are you?
Yeah, so it's fun. I remember doing AM Drive. I believe, was it pre-pandemic? In 2019 we did that too. I mean, I remember talking about him on AM Drive, and Aaron was telling me how he might be a good quarterback one day. And year after year, fast forward again, year after year after year, he still might be good one day. Always gets injured. This dude, just join the NFL. And if you don't make it, let's say, become an insurance salesman. Like, what are we doing?
Seriously, 2, 4, 6 seasons in college. Oh, 7. I didn't count the Texas year. 7.
And it could be an 8th. It could be an 8th year. That's like, what? Are you the teacher at this point? Like, what are we doing?
It's insane. Like, college is a mess. What is going on with college? You can transfer now unlimited times. So, you go to Alabama and the coach doesn't play you right away. You're pissed off. Your freshman season ends. You say, I'm transferring to Tennessee. Okay?
Right.
You can play right away. Not the same season, but you can play right away. So your sophomore year, Tennessee, you get beat out. Now you're pissed. Okay, I'm transferring. So then you go to Ohio State. Ohio State, week 7, the coach screams at you, hurt your little feelings. You have to do extra laps. You're like, I'm done with this university. You say, I'm transferring. So then you go to Michigan. Now you're a senior on your 4th school. And then if you were a good enough recruit, each year, each school offered you $500,000 of NIL money that you don't have to pay back. You don't have to stay a certain number of years. And then you have guys like this. Like, literally, you could grift the NCAA until you're in your early 30s at this point.
Yep.
What just happened?
Are we doing the Marshall thing today or no?
Yes.
Okay, well, this will segue perfectly into that then.
That's the next subject.
I was going to say, okay, I got you. Let's do that one because it's only the same thing.
What just happened with college football? Like, they're ruining it. You could transfer unlimited times. You can get unlimited money. You don't have to, there's no contract. You just get handed money. That's every team's recruiting sales pitch now is how much money will you give me?
Well,
and then you have things like this where teams can't even play their frickin' bowl game.
This was bad. This is really bad. I cannot, like, for those who don't know, that obviously you see on the screen, Marshall had like 28 players opt out. And the best part is when people say, well, their coach opted out. Okay, and it's called adversity, fools. Go out there and win a game without him. Screw him.
Well, it's up to 30. It's up to 35 players. They won their conference. They're like 10.
Let me get this straight. Marshall's coach was so good that you're playing a Marshall because of him. That's bullcrap. They're lying. It's such. Oh, my friends did this. I'm gonna do it too. You guys are all losers. I'm sorry. You are. I say sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's the best part.
I think it's up to 35 players, and they were 10-2. I think their record. They won their conference title, and then all these players. Where do they think they're going to go?
And the funny thing is, this should be held against them in the NFL. Every last one of these prospects, if they Marshall Thundering Herd prospects even make it, God bless them, to the NFL, these guys have got to be named, and I want this on their resume. If I'm a scout looking at this, I'm saying, what if we lose our coach? Are you just going to bail on the rest of the season? Like, this is a real thing.
So I'm looking at the transfer portal.
Can you imagine if the Jets had fired Robert Saleh and everyone opted out of the game? Can you imagine that the awful thing that would be?
This is insane. Okay, so I saw an article. It's like, where are you going to go? You played for Marshall. That doesn't mean you can just transfer to Alabama and become an immediate starter. So the first thing I pulled up was a college transfer portal tracker, and I saw 3,310 players entered the portal. This is out of control. And the first guy I noticed was a guy named Ryan Barnes, who left Notre Dame and signed with UMass, one of the worst teams in the nation. What? What just happened?
Well, you and I call them, right? You see me on the group chat, UMass?
UAss, yeah.
Yeah, UMass, yeah.
I see a guy transferred from Texas to Sam Houston State. Like,
what? Oh my gosh!
Why wouldn't you stick around?
I'll be wide receiver one at Sam Houston State. Okay, and like what? What?
This is insane. How many people and like, what are these Marshall guys?
Didn't like fans ask for this in a way? Like I hate doing this, but like. Didn't like the fans say, "Oh, we got to pay these guys. They're holding them back." Okay, well, this is what you get. This is why there were systems in place.
Well, some did, but I think mostly the players complained. Like they saw all the money being thrown out. And hey, if we're gonna be fair, the networks are just as guilty. ESPN's always whine about this kind of stuff because ESPN. They're fiscally responsible. That's why they're always hemorrhaging money. Of course, they're going to try to spend the NCAA's money however they want. And the NCAA is greedy as fuck. So nobody's right in this whole argument, but it's completely out of control and it's ruining college football. It really is. And they told us, and the reason I put the caption still a thing, they told us that NIL and the expanded playoffs is going to fix this.
I didn't believe that.
No, and it's not fixing it. Not only does NIL never fix the problem, the expanded playoffs maybe, because now you have 12 teams where you don't really have a lot of transfers except for Penn State backup quarterback, but his hand was forced. But if you have unlimited transfers and NIL money that you don't have to pay back if you don't stay at the university, you're not going to fix this problem. And that's what you have. 35 Marshall players are transferring and they can't even play their bowl game.
Well, it's like the funny thing is about this is that like the Penn State backup quarterback was part of the mix. And I'm just wondering, like, Penn State's literally in the national freaking championship game. Or it can play in it. We fooled ourselves. People fool themselves into thinking that the players would care. If they don't care about this stuff, why would they care about winning a national championship? And it's like you would hope they do, but they just don't. Why would you care?
I don't think so. Like, look, you want to transfer from Penn State, and I understand why he wants to transfer. I don't agree with it, but Drew Aller said he's coming back. So then the backup's like, oh, I'm not going to play next year. What kind of mentality is that? Like,
it's not good.
Okay, just because Drew Aller started this year and you made the playoffs doesn't mean you can't beat them out next year. So you have no intentions to get better. You just want to transfer to a school that needs a quarterback, so you don't have to get any better. You just guarantee a playing spot. And meanwhile, you're on a team in the playoffs. You're giving up the chance to be on a championship team. I don't think Penn State's going to win the title, but they're in the playoff. What kind of mentality is that? I mean, oh my goodness, that's a terrible mentality.
Didn't like all these schools that weren't the SEC and Big Ten whine. I know Penn State's the Big Ten, but they're not, Ohio State or Michigan. So it's like they whined about not having a chance, and they get a chance, and their players opt out. It's just it's insane.
And the players' excuse is, Well, the transfer portal is open now. I have no choice, but it's like, no, you do have a choice. You can choose not to transfer and just get better and eventually become the starter at Penn State.
Yeah,
but you have
let's see your starter craps the bed. Like, what are we doing?
Right. So you do have a choice.
Or God forbid breaks an ankle in a football play. Like, that's on the table, but nope.
It's ridiculous. Speaking of a choice, Travis Hunter's girlfriend had a choice. I don't think she's going to leave, but this happened.
All right.
I just I hear them when I'm
He's arguing with her.
You go to the hotel, you go walk around.
The video's bouncy. Hold on. She's visibly upset. Hold on.
We're gonna get find Matt. I called him twice.
Where's that coming from?
What's that?
No, that's fine. Trev, we're going to take one as a group, and that's it.
So the backstory is she's pissed because not only was he taking photos with women, she's just sitting there. She's like, "Am I just supposed to sit here? Like, who made you go? What's your
an idea? The cash cow you signed up for might take pictures with hot women one day. I just a thought.
Take pictures with them. I mean, seriously, what's your problem? What just happened? You're dating the Heisman Trophy winner. He's the Heisman Trophy winner. Is he not supposed to take pictures? What's he supposed to do? Entertain you all day?
She thinks you're hot. I'm sorry. I can't take a picture with you.
Right. I don't understand it. Like,
what?
What's
I bet you if there was a bunch of fat girls who lined up, she wouldn't care.
Wouldn't care at all. But I mean, there was dudes taking pictures with him. She was still mad. She said, you could hear her on camera say, what am I supposed to do? Just sit here? Yes, sit there. Because we know you're going to cash out half his paycheck here soon. Come on. What just happened?
She's actually pregnant too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is she really?
Yep.
Oh.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
Or a nice baby in this trying time. Or sperm egg, I don't know. I will say this as well. I know you guys laughed at me last week. His brother literally plays 5 minutes down the road from my house, which is absolutely insane. And that's
awesome. I love it. Hey, we're gonna take a break. Michael, I got to go get a new Guinness. So you'll see me if I'm back in my chair backstage. We'll be back, folks, in about 2 minutes. Don't leave us. Comment on X or YouTube. Michael saved the day. Falcon backed out of me on last minute. So Michael
middle
is now
fingers to Falcon in the chat.
So Michael's now back at the top of my list of favorite people. Falcon has dropped down. I don't know where he's at on the schedule, but on the rankings, but he's not number one anymore. Jeez. What just happened? We'll be right back. We got about 20 minutes to go in the show. Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right. At 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sports book, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
My discography is a hit list. The hottest girl is on my hit list. The hottest parties, I'm on the guest list. Roll up a gram like an exam, glitz and glam. My discography is a hit list. The hottest girl is on my hit list. The hottest parties, I'm on the guest list. Roll up a gram like an exam, glitz and glam. Numbers going up, I need a plaque. I need diamond girls to floss like I got too much black. All I do is chill at the crib and kill a track. You're probably on the menu if you say you rap. My discography is a hit list. The hottest girl is on my hit list. The hottest parties, I'm on the guest list. Pull up a gram like exam.
Oh, yeah. Michael.
Yo.
Michael's always up for a good time. Gotta love it. What do you got? AM Drive, a little blast from the past.
Yes, sir.
The show that could,
UMass.
the show that couldn't survive. I got my Guinness in my Manly Man cup. You got the FedEx tainted water. This is a Thursday. That's the new Friday. Michael's got to work tonight. You got to work tonight, so we got to cut this off at 7:30. We don't want you to be late to your work.
Sure.
I don't know if I've said this before, but it's winter and the holidays and Christmas, and what goes well with winter and holidays and Christmas but cinnamon? Did I do this already?
You got another one, right? Yeah, sure. Jeez. You said it tastes like candy?
It tastes like candy. Mommy's going to bed right after this show, so Daddy's got to go down. We got a new couch. I'm pretty excited about it.
Hey.
And there's college football on tonight. So, there you go. What just happened? We got a couple more topics, then we're going to move on with our evenings. Thursday's a new Friday. Big news coming at 12 Ounce Sports. All kinds of great things happening. Keep an eye on the network. We're going to be on a very prominent streaming service here soon, so I'm pretty excited. I'm very excited. Pogba's low-life brother is sentenced. This kind of bummed me out, Michael, when I read this story. Getting ready for the show. Pogba, I hope I said it, Pogba. I really like this guy. Really prominent soccer player. I got to take I got to take that off. This was sad. He was being extorted by 6 men, which included 3 childhood friends and his own brother, for $13.5 million. And luckily they came to justice. But what just happened? What does money do to people that 3 childhood friends and a brother are going to try to extort money from this guy? Like,
yeah, money is something crazy. Like, money will have people kill their wives. It makes no sense. It's
crazy.
Mm-hmm. What just happened?
So, if anybody out there is thinking about doing a what just happened moment and doing something stupid like this, let me just tell you, Paul Pogba, great soccer player, known internationally, and you're his brother, right? Would you try to extort money from him? Or maybe just use some brains and be like, Paul, you're a busy man. You're an internationally known soccer player. Let me be your manager. Let me be your scheduler. I mean, you don't have to go to prison for the rest of your life being a low life piece of shit, you could probably try to help your brother and he'd pay you a salary.
Well, here's an idea. Hey, Paul, I really am in the dumps right now. Can you help me out? That's what. And don't ask him every week, but like just ask him for something. And if he says no, you still don't extort him. But it's like you don't have to undermine his and your integrity by doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and it was a what just happened topic because I could not believe I read his own brother and 3 childhood friends. That'd be like Falcon trying to extort money from me, but apparently he's so busy he wouldn't have time to extort money from me.
Jeez. I bet you Pogba feels probably like he's lost his entire childhood right now.
That would be pretty depressing. Yeah, that would be pretty depressing that 3 lifelong friends and a brother tried to extort $13.5 million from you. So, I mean, that deserves this. You're not going to like this topic, Michael. You're not going to like it. LeBron suddenly cares about the quality of the NBA. He came out complaining that there's a lot of effing threes being shot. You could see the little caption under it. He's being critical about the league. He's saying they want to change the All-Star format. He knows the ratings are down 48%, but LeBron is always, mainstream. Okay. And I'm sure he heard the likes of Shaq commenting that the NBA is just boring and everybody's running the same play. Everybody's shooting 53s per game. LeBron's never had a problem with it. We just showed a clip last week where Falcon and I were losing our minds laughing, where LeBron missed 3 3-pointers in about a span of 30 seconds. And then all of a sudden he comes out. I think LeBron is, first of all, I'm not going to lie. Michael, I know you love him. I think he's by far one of the top 3 players of all time. Chamberlain, Jordan, James. I don't know what order.
I love Wilt.
I don't know how you put them in order. I'm just saying those are the top 3 players of all time. But the problem I've always had with LeBron, I love that he brought Cleveland a championship in my lifetime, but he's Mr. Popularity. He's just cool with what everybody else is cool because he just wants to be Mr. Popular. He's never had a problem with the style of the NBA. He's lived off the current style of the NBA, the current model of the NBA. Then he hears all these greats saying the NBA sucks. It's down 48% in viewership. Everybody just chucks up threes. And all of a sudden LeBron has a problem with it too. What just happened?
Yeah, I don't think LeBron is the one to be saying this, even though he is still a face, if not the face of the league. It does kind of suck that like he's been like shooting a very low number of threes, like percentage wise. I don't know if Steph Curry would be the one to say, but like if someone else who like was actually a good 3-point shooter said this, it would mean a lot more to me. But it's like if you suck, you can't just comment on it if you suck at it, dude. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're a 25% 3-point shooter, I mean, maybe not talk about the 3-point shooting.
Yeah, it's frustrating because I don't know how you fix it though. It's like they talk about like bring the 3-point shot like line out. That's not going to help because then the spacing becomes even more crazy and there's even more drive-bys to the rim. I don't know. It just Steph Curry helped it and ruined it at the same time.
So if we have a minute, because we have 12 minutes, and we only have 2 more topics after this, what could the NBA do? Like, what is their real problem? Why is viewership down so much? Like, you can't force teams to not run certain plays. You can't force teams to not shoot 3-pointers. What do you think the real reason? I think you're the most true NBA fan I know. Outside the network, I know a couple guys that love the NBA, but inside the network, you're the guy that likes the NBA the most. What do you think they could change? What is it?
I think it's a combination of things. I don't know. I don't think there's a way to pinpoint any of it. I think the NBA is actually a very good product a lot of times, but it is. I think that the superstars and people are going to blame LeBron for doing this, but I don't like when stars can just bail on their contracts and just beg for a trade. I think that sours a lot of people, especially if you're like a hardcore, let's say you're a Nets fan and Kyrie, Katie, and Harden came and all of a sudden within like a year, they're all like mope out and leave. It doesn't look good. It takes your core fans away, and those are the people you're banking on to stay there and build the popularity of. There's so many things, but I do think superstars getting a lot of stuff they don't actually deserve is probably one of them.
Well, yeah, okay. So, as a casual observer, I'd say you just touched on something that we kind of talked about with the NCAA game, is guys just shuffle around teams, and I think that loses. I think fans lose interest. I think college sports is going to lose fan interest over time. We're not there yet. We're getting there. It's getting as bad as pro sports. Football is always king, but even the NFL, all the other leagues are kind of up. But I think the college landscape is going to have the problem the NBA has. If you're letting all these players every team looks different every year, not because of recruits, because guys are shuffling around. I think that hurts viewership. I think that is one of the things. And like you said, star players get things they don't deserve. I think that's the other issue with the NBA. If I'm a casual observer, I think the officiating is biased and sometimes doesn't make any sense. Other than that, you can't control who's shooting what, who's running what. I think those are the first two things you need to shore up. Stop giving stars preferential treatment and calling fouls and things like that. And hold players to their contract. If you have a 7-year contract, in year 2, you can't demand a trade.
There should be a minimum of years or some percentage of the contract you have to finish.
Well, no, I have a problem with players demanding trades. Trades should be initiated by the team. Okay, a random player signs a 7-year deal with the Pelicans. He should either be prepared to play 7 years with the Pelicans unless the Pelicans decide they want to trade him. He shouldn't get to say in game 10 of year 2 of his 7-year contract, you know what? I don't really like New Orleans. I don't like my teammates. We're not winning. I want out of here. He shouldn't get to say that, right?
To me, it's thankfully they only go up to 5 years in the NBA, which is actually a good thing.
Okay, so 5 years.
Right. There should be a percentage of games you have to at least, even if you haven't played them, if you should have to at least pay 40 or 50% of your contract. There should be none of this, like you said, year 2, game 10, I'm pissed off like that. Your signature has to mean something. It has to.
Well, you just touched on something else that I don't think you meant to, but that's the other problem with the NBA, these rest days. You don't see that in any other sport. What other sport do they say, I need a rest day? You play a fucking game. I understand you're running a lot of miles, but you're an athlete. You play what's
it's
the
not helping. It's not helping the health. People are still getting injured left and right. So I don't know. That ship has sailed to me.
Yeah, but these guys aren't very aware. People are forking over $150 a ticket 3 months in advance in hopes of seeing Steph Curry or LeBron James, and then the game time comes around. It's like LeBron's not playing tonight. He's on a rest day. What the hell?
My favorite part is the fake injuries, the bruised heel, and then the next 10 games you play, and you have a twisted ankle. They're so full of crap. They're just lying. The teams are lying at that point.
Yeah, they're just giving the guy a night off. I remember. I know I'm old man yelling at the clouds, but I remember Bernie Kosar broke his ankle in the first half of a playoff game against the Oilers and played the entire game, second half, on a broken ankle. And these guys, I played 4 games last week. I need a day off. What the hell are you talking about?
My shoulder's kind of tight. No, it's not.
And then they blame the amount of 3-pointers being shot for why the viewership's down 48%. I don't think it's one singular reason why viewership's down. I think and you almost touched on it. You almost said the word culture. I think it's the culture of the NBA is why the viewership's down.
That's true. Also, another thing, with the threes. Isn't it crazy how it's like playing defense would actually help fix that a little bit? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a thing.
It would, but I mean, they're checking up. I saw a team last week when Falcon and I were kind of having fun with you. I forgot to put the graphic up into the studio, but there was a team that shot. They were like 17 of 57 from 3-point range.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were making all of them. So even defense wouldn't have curbed that. They were just chucking them up. So I think the NBA has a lot of problems. That's the bottom line.
Culture
That's
might
the
be a
bottom
big
line.
thing. Culture might be the big deal.
Hey, nothing gives me more joy. Well, that's a bold statement. Sports-wise, nothing gives me more joy than a coach underestimating his opponent and then losing. Did you see Doug
coach?
I don't know, but did you see he lost to nobody you?
Is that what he called them?
Yes. He said he was talking about the weather. I'm going to pull up the video here in a minute. He's the Green Bay head coach. He's notably on CBS Sports, I think, maybe ESPN.
Fox.
We'll show you the video, but then, I'm going to take the graphic off. He responds to the tweet about him and said, I'm done with this crap. We scheduled up, including Michigan Tech. Nowhere ever have I been critical of anyone on our schedule. Now back to work. He said, nowhere ever have I been critical to anyone on our schedule. Okay? Keep that in mind when I pull up the video. Okay? Okay.
Who to schedule, like nobody. And part of the reason I want to play better teams is like, it's 2 degrees outside, it's snowing. Like, I don't really like the idea of nobody you coming in here and like, I always thought, like, what do we learn playing a game where we win by 20? But there's a methodology to it. And I'm going to have to adjust moving forward.
Yeah.
Nowhere ever have I been critical of anyone on our schedule. This was right before the Michigan Tech game.
Who to schedule, like nobody. And part of the reason I want to play better teams is like, it's 2 degrees outside, it's snowing. Like, I don't really like the idea of nobody you coming in here and like, I always thought, like, what do we learn playing a game where we win by 20? But there's a methodology to it. And I'm going to have to adjust moving.
What just happened? He just denied
ever talking down his opponents, yeah.
But he just denied it. It's on video. How do you deny what's on video?
And how does Doug Gottlieb, who's like first of all, I want to know, how is he even allowed to coach and be a Fox Sports radio host? That just doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, he's still a host?
That's what it said. It says, it didn't say former. It said, pull up the article again. Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Oh, he is. That is interesting. Maybe he negotiated that.
That's insane.
That is absolutely insane.
No one watches Green Bay basketball, right?
Well, no. Honestly, nobody does. Last one. Listen, folks. Can I be your financial advisor?
Sure.
Don't fall for the Paul brothers grift. We saw it with Tyson. You saw all Tyson's workouts. He could have killed somebody. He was holding back punches. Now all of a sudden, Conor McGregor, fresh off of a rape trial.
Yeah, he needs it.
And he's not coming back to the UFC anytime soon, is going to box Logan Paul in an exhibition. Whatever, exhibition. What's that even mean anymore? You're going to charge $79.99, all you schmucks and the idiots. How dumb did the people at the Tyson fight feel that they probably forked over $3,000 to watch two guys not throw punches?
I called that. And I have another question. When is boxing, like these higher ups at boxing, like these boxing truthers, do they understand how stupid their sport looks right now?
Yeah.
Like, you have let one guy single-handedly ruin any image you had left of your sport.
That's because nobody watches the actual boxing. Do you even
now
know?
It's like now you can rig anything at any fight you want. You can rig it all.
Well, you've always been able to rig boxing matches, but outside the Paul brothers and who they've fought, can you name one top boxer? It's got to be the worst marketing team on the face of the earth when it comes to sports. I can't name one top boxer, and I used to love boxing. Hearns, Hagler, I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard, they were all there. Boxing's got to be the worst. They used to be the best promoters. Don King used to be the best promoter. Now it's the Paul brothers. Jake and Logan are fighting a bunch of has-beens, rapists, and MMA guys who can't box. And they're duping people of modest means for $80 a night to watch Tyson pull punches. Throw a half punch.
And they're duping. I always tell people, I know we're over time, but their young fan base is being just like when Mr. Beast makes his Lunchables look alike. It's like you're literally duping a young fan base, and they know what they're doing, and no one's going to call them out for it. It's absolutely ridiculous.
They absolutely know what they're doing, and we absolutely know what we're doing. We're having a good time. It's what just happened. Michael, thanks for saving the show. I was about to do this on my own, and it would have been done in about 17 minutes. So I appreciate it. Folks, you've been watching What Just Happened. We love this show. It's a good time. Every Thursday, 6:30 Eastern. Falcon's going to get a tongue lashing next time he's on. Please sponsor my bookie. Use the promo code 12OZ Sports. Deposit bonus up to $1,000. Tickets.12ozsports.com. Tickets.12ozsports.com. Promo code 12OZ or ROME. Listen, we just had 2 different people buy tickets tonight. They saved money. Trust me. It's the greatest ticket platform ever, possibly the best. Everybody's talking about it. Michael, you need to get that impersonation down. There we go. We made it, Michael. Stay backstage. I'll say hi and wish you well and work. You've been watching What Just Happened. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We'll be back next.
My discography is a hit list. The hottest girl is on my hit list. The hottest parties, I'm on the guest list. Roll up a gram like an exam, glitz and glam. My discography is a hit list. The hottest girl is on my hit list. The hottest parties, I'm on the guest list. Roll up a gram like an exam, glitz and glam. Numbers going up, I need a plaque. I need diamond girls to floss like I got too much plaque. All I do is chill at the crib and kill a track. You're probably on the menu if you say you rap. My discography is a hit list. The hottest girl is on my hit list. The hottest parties, I'm on the guest list. Roll up a gram like an exam.